Good morning, good evening, and tonight in our studio we're gonna have Monaco 2. And this game arrives over a decade after the cult classic Monaco What's Your Is Mine, and it's immediately clear that this sequel isn't just a rehash of what worked before. Developed by Pocket Watch gamers, Monaco 2 keeps the heart of the original, a thrilling blend of stealth, strategy, and chaos, but moves the entire experience forward with a shift to 3D, producer levels, and even more dynamic heist scenarios. So, what's Monaco itself? As its core, Monaco 2 is still all about pulling off elaborate heists with a crew of specialists. Each character has a unique ability that can completely alter how a job plays out. Whenever you're sneaking in, it's a master of disguise, disabling security system as a hacker, or causing distractions with a companion dog, your team composition matters. The game rewards creative problem solving and improvisation, particularly when things go off the rails mid mission, well, which they often do. And the most noticeable change from the original in the transition from top-down 2D to a 3D and symmetric viewpoint. There is more than just a cosmetic upgrade. It adds a new dimensions, literally and figuratively, to gameplay. Vertically becomes a real consideration. Players can now navigate different floors and elevations, which opens up complex infiltration paths and new lines of sight for both players and AI guards. It makes the world feel richer and more tactical while still retaining the sharp visual clarity necessary for stealth gameplay. One of Monaco's two standout features is the procedural level of the generation. The main campaign is still set of developer-created levels, so everyone's fit playthrough in the same and allows players to fairly complete on the leaderboards. But adding a huge amount of replayability is even clearly named Unreliable Narrator mode, where the game creates flash layouts each time, using the main mission's objectives and the themed handcrafted levels to create a whole new heist with greater rewards. Before each heist, players are given access to a detailed blueprint of the larger localization. This planning phase adds an extra layer of strategy, letting you scope out camera placements, possible entry points, and high-value targets. It's a great touch that adds some realism to fantasy of being a master thief and reinforces the idea that a good heist begins with a good plan. That said, planning can only take you so far. As in the original, chaos is the part of the charm, and even the best laid schemes can unravel due to a mistimed move. An overlooked camera on a noisy civilian. It's in these unscripted moments when the players are scrambling, adapting, and covering for another that Monaco 2 it is best. The blend of the tension and the teamwork creates some genuinely memorable gaming moments, especially in co-op. Speaking of the co-op, the game is clearly built with the multiplayer in mind. I have played through the entire main campaign solo at the first, enjoying myself a lot, but the experience shines brightest with the friends. Coordinating a silent takedown, timing door breaches, or setting up decoys while someone else grabs the loot feels incredibly satisfying. And it's not just about the execution, it's about the trust, timing, and adaptability. Communication becomes as a skill to its own right. Well, visually, Monaco 2 keeps the series' distinct style throughout new with more depth and polish. The 3D models are clean and expressive, and the lighting designs add a lot of the atmosphere, the dark corners, flickering security lights, and the guarding lurking in the shadowy nooks. It walks a fine line between the sleek and playful, never taking itself too seriously despite in the high-stakes subject matter. Complementing the action is in a fantastic soundtrack by Austin Wintory. The music dynamically responds to your actions, ramping up during tense chases of slipping into a soft jazzy groove when you are undetected. It's a stylish audio compassion that elevates the whole experience. If there is a downside, it is I found some scenarios to not to play as I intended. One particular scenario made me potentially more annoyed that it should have I been. I mean, in a prison break mission very early in the game, it possibly opens the cell doors, which led me to believe I can cause some chaotic and while the guards fight prisoners, I can slip by. Was I very wrong? Both guards and prisoners will spot you and then work together to take you down. It made no sense. It was infuriating and very annoying. So, in a conclusion, what I can say that the Monaco is a smart, stylish sequel that evolves the series of the meaningful ways. And well, I have also the positive side of it. The first thing is that the tactical co-op gameplay is incredibly fun and strategic with the friends, especially if you playing it together, basically, obviously, right? The unique characters and each role feels distinct, offering a varied approaches to the missions. And what about the negative sides? As the learning curve for the newcomers, the strategic deep and the planning might be overwhelming at first, and there is occasional awkward situations, as I mentioned about earlier about the prisoners and the guards. But some scenarios don't play out as well you would expect them, which can be irritating when they're halfway through. And what I thought was a great heist. So basically, the move to 3D and dynamic heist and the emphasis of co-op gameplay make it feel fresh while still capturing the spirit of the original game. And whenever you are a returning fan or a newcomer to the world of stylish digital burglary, this is the one haste worth pulling off. For the example and the hours of replayability, I can recommend the game to the fans of the stealth and pulling out of the complex plans, as well as those looking for the really good um, chaos in the game, right? So it is isn't too different. It isn't too different from the first game, but it remains a delightful experience. The presentations might be a little divisive for those who love the first game's simpler approach, but addition of the character voices make the game more charming. And that's why I didn't mention before that they basically add the voices. And the new gameplay additions make the game more approachable, while the addition of randomization gives the general some, well, lags. And Monaco 2, it's lots of fun in both co-op and solo play. And those who love a good lighter heist will rely um, on this experience and on this title, and they will enjoy it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.